There is a business owner I know who is genuinely one of the smartest people I have ever met. And right now, he is slowly going broke. The person beating him is not smarter than him. He barely understands the tools he is using. But they are in the same town, they run the same kind of business, and they both have access to the exact same tools. I have watched this happen so many times now that I stopped calling it bad luck. It is a trap. And the strange thing about this trap is that it only catches smart people. So today I want to walk you through 6 traps. And I want you to pay attention, because every single one of them feels like good judgment when you are the one inside it. That is exactly what makes them so dangerous. Number 6 is the one I fell into myself, and it cost me 3 months of my life. My name is Emmanuel. I run an AI implementation agency, and I also own a cleaning company and a real estate company. Trap 1. You research until you never start. The first trap is the most expensive one, and it is the one that feels the most responsible. Smart people research. That is the habit that got them this far. You study something, you understand it, then you make a good decision. It has worked their whole life. So when AI shows up, they do the thing that has always worked. They start studying it. And I have sat with business owners who are months into what they call evaluating their options. They have spreadsheets, they have a list of tools with all the features compared side by side. They are waiting until they are sure before they commit to anything. Now, while that is happening, somebody else in the same market just opened one tool and started using it. They used it badly at first. They got a poor result. Then they fixed it and got a better one. And that person is now months ahead. Not months of reading, months of real information coming out of their own business. Here is the part nobody tells you about researching AI. These tools change faster than you can finish researching them. So you will never actually reach the end. The comparison you finish this month will be out of date next month. So here is what I want you to do instead. Pick one tool. Use it for 1 week on one real job in your business. Then decide what you think. 1 week of actually using it will teach you more than a month of reading about it. And the reason is simple. Reading teaches you about the tool. Using it teaches you about your own business. Trap 2. You will not ask the basic question. The second trap is about ego, and this one is much quieter. There is a question you are not asking right now because you feel like you should already know the answer. Something simple, like what am I actually supposed to type into this thing? So you do not ask it. You nod along in the meeting. And then you go home and quietly search for it at 11 o'clock at night. And because you never asked properly, you stay stuck on the surface of it. Now, here is something I have noticed in a lot of businesses. The first person to properly figure out AI is usually not the owner. It is somebody younger on the team who had no reputation to protect. They just opened it and started pressing buttons. And that creates a very strange situation where the person with the least authority in the building suddenly has the most useful skill in the building. So let me say this plainly. The reputation you are protecting is worth nothing if the business it is attached to falls behind. What I want you to do is ask the beginner question out loud to somebody who actually knows. It will cost you about 30 seconds of feeling uncomfortable. Not asking is going to cost you months. Trap 3. You build a rocket to go to the shop. The third trap is mine. I did this one myself, so let me tell you what happened. I spent weeks trying to build a proper custom system for bringing new clients on board. I was thinking about how to structure it. I was handling every situation that could possibly come up. I wanted to build something I would be proud to show another engineer. And the whole time I was doing that, the actual problem was very small. New clients were waiting too long to hear back from me. That problem needed a form, a template, and something simple to send the message. It needed a few days of work, not a few weeks. So I was not really solving the problem. I was solving the version of the problem that was interesting to me. And those two things are not the same, but smart people mix them up all the time. Now, if you look at the systems that actually make money in the businesses I work with, most of them are boring. A form that sends a message. A document that gets summarized automatically. A follow-up that goes out without anybody having to remember it. There is nothing impressive about any of that. And when a smart person looks at one of those, their first thought is that it is too basic to matter. That thought right there is the trap. So here is what I want you to do. Write down the one thing that is costing you the most time this week. Then solve that one thing with the simplest tool that will work. Do not build a whole platform. Just solve this week. Trap 4. You think using AI is cheating. The fourth trap shows up in people who are proud of their craft. And honestly, I understand this one. If you built your name on writing, or designing, or advising people, then letting a machine write your first draft can feel like you are skipping the part that makes you good at your job. So you write everything yourself, from nothing, every single time. It takes you 4 times longer, and you tell yourself the quality is worth it. And sometimes that is true. But a lot of the time your client cannot tell the difference, and they would rather have it on Tuesday. Now, the people who are pulling ahead are not letting AI do their job for them. They are using it for the first draft, for the blank page, for the boring middle part. Then they use their real skill on the edit. Their taste is still what the client is paying for. They are just not spending it on typing. So let me say this clearly. Your clients are not paying you to suffer. They are paying you for the result and for the judgment behind it. Here is what I want you to try. Take one thing you write regularly. Let AI do the first draft, then edit it properly until it meets your standard. Time both versions, and then make your decision based on what actually happened instead of based on pride. Trap 5. You are waiting until it is right. The fifth trap is perfectionism, and it likes to dress up as having high standards. Smart people want to understand every single variable before they move, and that feels careful. It feels professional. But when things are moving this fast, it is just a slower way of losing. I have a client who runs a few small shops, and he put a simple AI system into how he takes orders. It took him about a week. It was not clever. It did not handle every situation. But what it did do was stop the small things from being forgotten. Every order, every time. He did not need it to be perfect. He needed it to be consistent. And consistency is exactly the thing people are worst at when they are busy and tired. Meanwhile, there is a much more organized business down the road that is still evaluating their options. Now, the difference between those two people is not intelligence. The difference is that one of them is getting real information out of something that is actually running, and the other one is still collecting opinions. So here is your step. Put something imperfect live this week. You cannot improve a system that does not exist yet. Your first version is not the final product. Your first version is the thing that tells you what the product should actually be. Trap 6. You treat it like a subject to study. Now, this last one is the root of all the others. Smart people want to understand AI. They want to know how the models work and why it behaves the way it does and what is really happening underneath it. And look, that is genuinely interesting. But it is not the job. In my cleaning company, we use AI for the boring parts. Follow-up messages to customers. Turning a pile of messy notes into something a person can actually read. Nobody involved could explain to you how any of it works underneath. And it has never mattered one single time. What matters is that the follow-up actually goes out, and that it goes out whether or not somebody remembered to do it. That is it. That is the whole thing. You do not need to understand how electricity works to turn on a light in your house. You just need to know where the switch is. So stop trying to learn AI. Pick one job you repeat every week and get a tool to do it for you. You will learn more from that one job than from any course you could buy. VHE on ni ting. If you take one thing away from this whole video, I want it to be this. All 6 of those traps are actually the same mistake. They just look different from the outside. In every single one, you are trying to look like you know what you are doing, instead of trying to get something to work. Because researching looks smart. Building the complicated version looks smart. Writing everything yourself looks smart. Waiting until it is perfect looks smart. But none of those things are the same as it working. The people beating you are not smarter than you. They have just stopped needing to look smart before they are allowed to begin. Now, if you are stuck at that stage where you do not even know where to start, that is exactly the problem I help people solve. I put the method I use with real businesses into a toolkit. It walks you through finding the 3 jobs in your business that are worth automating first and what each one of them is costing you right now. That link is in the description. If you would rather I just look at your business myself and tell you where the money is hiding, that is the AI audit, and it is in the description too. Tell me in the comments which trap you recognized in yourself. I read them, and I am genuinely curious which one hits hardest. I will see you in the next one.